Hello everyone, welcome back to our English class. Today we're going to go over a worksheet that covers vocabulary, reading and writing skills. We'll be talking about personality traits, contractions and family relationships. This lesson is specially created for you by your English teacher, Mr. Ahmed Khalil. So let's get started, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to support our learning community. Section 1. Vocabulary, Activity 4. First, let's look at the vocabulary section. Here we have a table where we need to sort words that describe positive and negative personality traits. We can see some examples like fun and grumpy. Let's think about it. Is fun a positive or negative trait? Right, it's positive, so it goes in the positive column. Another example is selfish, which is often seen as a negative trait, so it would go in the negative column. After you've sorted these, add 2 more words to each column based on people you know or interact with. Think about the reasons you get along with certain people or find others challenging. This will help you practice describing personality traits and understanding how people's behaviors can affect relationships. Section 2. Use of English, apostrophes in contractions. Now, let's move to the use of apostrophes in contractions. This section explains how contractions work. A contraction is a way to combine 2 words, like do not becoming don't, or we have becoming we've. The apostrophe replaces the missing letters and makes the words sound more natural in conversation. In English, contractions are very common, especially in informal speech. Look at the conversation between Sunil and Abdullah in the reading section. You'll see contractions like that's for that is and where for we are. Pay attention to how these contractions make their conversation flow more naturally. This is something to keep in mind as it will help make your English sound more fluent and conversational. Section 3. Reading Activity 5. Now let's move on to the reading section. This is a dialogue between 2 characters, Sunil and Abdullah, who are talking about their family relationships. Let's read it together. I'll read the dialogue out loud and you can follow along on your worksheet. Read the dialogue between Sunil and Abdullah, emphasizing the contractions and conversational tone. After reading, let's answer the questions together. 1. Who are Sunil and Abdullah talking about? 2. How do Sunil and Abdullah usually get on with their sisters? 3. What causes Sunil and Abdullah to argue with their sisters? This section is a great way to think about how family relationships can sometimes be a mix of positive and challenging experiences. Take your time answering these questions on your worksheet. Section 4. Writing. Contractions, Activity 6. In the writing section, we're looking at contractions again. Here, you need to match the contractions from the conversation with the words given below. For example, it's comes from it is and we've comes from we have. Go through each one carefully and try to match them. This exercise will make it easier to understand contractions in informal conversations, which will help improve your English fluency and confidence. Section 5. Writing, Describing Family Relationships, Activity 7. In the last section, you'll describe your own family relationships. Think about someone you get along well with and someone you might argue with, and explain why. You could say something like, I get on well with my aunt because we both like swimming. Or, my sister and I argue because she can sometimes be selfish. This exercise will help you practice expressing your thoughts about relationships while using the vocabulary we learned. It's a great way to personalize your English learning. Vocabulary Review. Here, we're sorting personality traits into positive and negative categories. For example, fun is a positive trait, as it describes someone who makes situations enjoyable. We'll put fun under the positive personality column. Grumpy, however, is usually negative, describing someone who's often in a bad mood. This would go under negative personality. After sorting the given words, try adding 2 more words to each column. Think about people you know and the traits you notice in them. This activity will help you understand and describe personalities. Now let's move to workbook. So grab your workbook, settle in, and let's dive into today's lesson. Section 1, Vocabulary, Jumbled Words, Activity 3. All right, let's start with a vocabulary puzzle. We have some jumbled words here that describe different personality traits. Each word is mixed up, and our job is to unscramble them. Let's go through each one together. 1. UFN. Rearranging these letters, we get fun. Fun is a positive personality trait. 2. IOYNGNNA. This one unscrambles to annoying. Annoying is usually negative, right? 3-point PM UYGR. If we rearrange these, we get grumpy. Definitely a negative trait. 4-point MLAC. This one spells calm, which is a positive trait. Calm people keep things peaceful. 5. ORTSPY. Unscrambling these letters gives us a sporty, a positive and active personality trait. 6. DIALAKCB. This one spells laid back, meaning relaxed and easygoing. Positive. 7. NYUFN. Rearranging these gives us funny, which is a great positive trait. 8-point FILESHS. Unscrambling these letters we get selfish, which is negative since it means not sharing with others. Nice work! Matching up jumbled words is a great way to remember vocabulary. And hey, here's a quick joke for you. Why did the teacher wear sunglasses to the vocabulary lesson? Because his students were so bright. Section 2. Reading Comprehension, Activity 4. Now let's move on to reading comprehension. We have a passage about Javid and his weekend plans with his family. Let's read it together and then answer some questions. But first, here's a riddle to warm up your brain. I'm not alive, but I grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. What am I? Pause for guesses. The answer is fire. All right, now that we're warmed up, let's jump into the story. It's all about Javid's family, his cousins, and a swimming pool adventure. Sounds exciting, right? Read the passage aloud with expression. Now, let's answer the questions one by one. 1. Why is Javid excited? Javid is excited because he's going to visit his aunt and uncle and spend time with his cousins, whom he gets along well with. 2. Who does Javid get on well with? Javid gets on well with his cousins, Hansar and Tariq. 3. Why? Because they are around the same age and enjoy doing the same activities. 4. Who does Javid not get on well with? Javid doesn't get on well with his little sister. 5. Why? Because she follows him around and doesn't like the same activities, which annoys him. Great job! This activity is all about understanding relationships in stories and thinking about how characters feel. Remember, putting yourself in the character's shoes can make reading a lot more interesting. Section 3. Contractions Practice, Activity 5. Let's practice some contractions. We're going to take sentences and make them shorter and less formal. Contractions are like a shortcut in English that helps make our speech more natural. But don't worry, no fancy equipment required. Here's a joke to kick things off. What did the apostrophe say to the letters? I'm here to make things shorter. Let's look at the sentences in Activity 5 and see how we can shorten each one. 1. I do not have any brothers or sisters. Answer. I don't have any brothers or sisters. 2. We cannot visit Sam at the weekend. Answer. We can't visit Sam at the weekend. 3. My mum has not made the cake yet. Answer. My mum hasn't made the cake yet. 4. We are going to the swimming pool. Answer. We're going to the swimming pool. 5. That is a great idea. Answer. That's a great idea. Easy, right? Contractions make sentences sound less formal and more like the way we speak every day. Practice using contractions whenever you can to make your English sound natural. Section 4. Bonus round, puzzles and riddles. Since you've worked so hard, let's have a quick puzzle break. Here are a couple of fun riddles to challenge your brain. 1. What comes once in a minute, twice in a moment, but never in 1,000 years? Answer the letter M. 2. I have keys but open no locks. I have space but no room. You can enter but not go outside. What am I? Answer a keyboard. Awesome job! These kinds of puzzles are excellent for improving your thinking skills, which will help you in all kinds of ways, even in English class. Wrap up. All right, everyone, that's a wrap for today's lesson. We worked on vocabulary by unscrambling some jumbled words, practiced reading comprehension by learning about Javid's family, and mastered contractions to make our sentences shorter and more conversational. Plus, we solved some riddles and had a few laughs along the way. Remember to practice these skills at home and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to keep learning with me, Mr. Ahmad Khalil. If you enjoyed today's lesson, let me know in the comments with your favourite riddle or a joke.